not before. But then you came around knocking at my door. I didn't know that I was falling for you. I guess it's true. You got me dancing on the moon, and I don't wanna come down. I didn't know that I was falling for you. I guess it's true. You got me dancing on the moon. I don't wanna come down.
Welcome to Sydney, Australia, and a grey old Sydney Harbour for another day of racing in the 18-foot skiffs. We've got the final heat of the Club Championship and the final heat of the Club Point Score. Good afternoon, wherever you're watching, good evening or good morning. Peter Shipway, along with the Sale Media crew, Jimmy Bury, our captain, is with us, and we have Phil Barnett, commonly known as the Cub, with us today to provide expert overview comments. So good afternoon to you, Cub. Give us an overview of the weather. What do you think?
Well, Pete, I think a lot of the crews on shore have elected to use their number 2 rig, their smallest rig today. We're currently sitting out on the start line waiting for the start. It's not that windy. It's going to be a bit patchy for the guys. Probably around the 15 knots at this stage, which is the bottom end of their number 2 rig.
Okay, well, it's been a funny old morning here in Sydney. It was quite hot and humid and not much breeze, but southerly came in just before midday, and it's still in at the moment, and a few little spiky bits. So as we say good afternoon to you, Jimmy Bury. Let's have a look at the course today, which is one of our favoured courses, but it's also a long course.
Absolutely, Shippo. G'day, Shippo. Yeah, course 4 of the southerly. So we start down here in Athol Bay, and they work their way up to a landmark in Clark Island and a big long run down to Obelisk Bay. Then they work their way back up around Shark Island, a run down here to Athol Bay, work back up to Clark Island, big long run again down to Obelisk, working back up around Shark Island, down here to Athol Bay East, and then finish in the vicinity of Clark Island.
Thank you, Jimmy. Yes, well, normally in the southerly we're accustomed to winds over 20 knots. I don't think we're going to see that today, but nonetheless, as Cub said, all on small rigs and plenty of breeze at the moment, some spiky bits coming through at probably 15 to 18 knots, but probably lucky to get to 20 today. But a lot of significant changes to crews when we're only a week away from the big titles that start next Friday, the JJ Invitation race, and then we're into it next Saturday for the big title for this year in 2025. 21 boats out today. We've got the Germans are here, we've got the Great Britain team, we've got the Queenslanders, the Victorians are here. So it's a full-on fleet. A few more to come in for next week, but at the moment most of all the top contenders are here. Go to Finport first. They've got a significant crew change. Keegan York, the skipper, he's in the bow today. Versatile yachtsman, old Keegan. And John Harris, the 2001 champion on Rag and Famish. He is steering with Ian Jensen as crew. Ian Jensen, Olympic gold medalist. So they certainly know their way around the boat. So that'll be an interesting hit out for Keegan York's team on the Finport with Keegan in the bow. On the Yandu, no Lewis Brake, and the veteran Mike Kennedy, or Berger as he's known. He joins as forward hand with Fang Warren and Tom Needham. They put in a very polished performance last week in winning the 3 boys race, and I think they stamped themselves quite amongst the favourites for the big title. Josh Porebski comes aboard Marine Outlet as the skipper with Cam Gundy and Charlie Gundy. The big footer down from Queensland with Dave Hayter, Ben Roxburgh and Pete Nicholson. Shaw and Partners, Emma Rankin is steering with Brando Bynick, and Joel Turner, a very accomplished sailor from the Gold Coast. He's aboard as the sheet hand, and he'll be continuing on through the JJs. And Lindsay Stead, he comes aboard the Smeg with Nathan McNamara and Jack Taylor standing in for Jed Cruikshank today. So some quite significant changes there today, Cub, isn't there?
Yeah, Pete. Look, I agree totally. We normally see the boats racing in a bit stronger breeze, and I think if we just remember back 2 weeks ago, we had that exact same challenge, and that the first Spinnaker run from Double Bay all the way down to the bottom mark, it was a war of attrition down there, which Harry Price worked his magic on. So I think we should be keeping a little bit of an eye on the Rag and Fammy. She's obviously the favourite at this stage for the JJs after his efforts this year. So let's just hope someone else can give him a little bit of a shake-up.
Well, I think, as I said, I think Yandu put a stamp down last week with a very polished performance in that good northeasterly breeze, but there's a few others that are sniffing around. I think we'd have to say that Balmain boys have been there consistently throughout the year. Sixth has had their moments, and certainly Vycobi. In the last 2 weeks, they've had 2 seconds. They've come in good, perhaps at the right time, but there's a lot of boats that could, if any one of the top few stub their toe, will ready to pounce. But that all unfolds really next week. But today is going to be another good test in this grey old day on the harbour in a southerly breeze at probably 15 knots average speed, and maybe a bit more spiky down the harbour as they get down to Obelisk, that leeward turning mark. The Western Channel pile that the skiffs will pass as they go downwind, that was registering about 18 knots about 10 minutes ago with a gust just over 20. But here we are, we've got a little time to go to the start. We've got about just over 11 minutes to go to the start. We're at Athol Bay here near the Taronga Park Zoo on the harbour. That's the Bradley's Head we're looking at, the western side of Bradley's Head, and from this starting area they'll go up into Double Bay. Most of the skiffs got out early, which is good, and they've done a little run up towards Double Bay on the wind, and half the fleet are sort of halfway up the beat now, and they'll wander back and get ready for the start, which in about 11 minutes time.
So Pete, during the year we see a lot of the Sydney skiffs out racing, and we capture a lot of their racing. What are you seeing about the overseas boats? We've got the Black Knight here from Germany. Now, he won the Garda Regatta, and sailed very well. It beat the Yandu, from what I remember. And so, have you got any thoughts on any of the other overseas boats?
Well, I getting back to the Black Knight, yes, they were the European champions, as you say, at Lake Garda. They impressed all that were there. And I think last week they had their first hit out on the harbour in that rather, good nor'easter. They were pretty sharp up to the weather mark. They were in the top bunch. They got a bit lost after that, but they just arrived from overseas, and that's never easy. And the harbour, as you know, Cub, is not an easy place to sail. I mean, we've all grown up here and we take a lot for granted, but there's a lot of spikes and corners to turn and idiots on the harbour. So it's not an easy place. So it'll take a bit of getting used to, but I think they are one that we'd certainly keep an eye on. Bigfoot from Queensland, they've impressed the last couple of times down here. They've been doing a lot of work up in Brisbane, Dave Hayter and his team, and I think they were last year in the JJs, they were quite prominent. I'm sure they were in the top 10. The other German, Hoffelhaus, I don't know much about them. They struggled a bit last week, but again, they've just arrived. So the British boats, we've got Goat GBR. I don't know much about them, I must say. Team Victoria, Scott Cunningham, Brodie Riley and Dave Cunningham. They've been up here for a couple of weeks, and they've had some good moments. They had a good race a couple of weeks ago in that strong southerly. I think they finished 6th, not that far away from the leaders. So I think a few of them could surprise, but I think if anyone's going to surprise, I think you'd have to say, not surprise really, but anyone will do well out of those non-Sydney fleet, I think would be the Black Knight.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm also seeing, I was talking to Dave Hayter from Brisbane just before we came out, and They've actually had a second boat launched in Brisbane, which will be down during the week, getting ready for the JJs, sponsored by Wealth, who are the Australian Championship sponsors. So, look, there's a few good boats that are just lurking in the shadows, I think.
Yeah, well, it's the consistency that's required over the JJs. There's a lot of racing to go. First heat next Saturday, if you've just joined us, for the JJs. But we're back Friday for the invitation race, which gives everyone a chance to flex their muscles and get a bit used to the harbour again. But it begins in real time and for points next Saturday.
Pete, I might just point out too, we've had some big tides this week in Sydney Harbour. 2 metre high tide is getting towards the top end of what we receive here in Sydney. So there'll be a run-out tide today. So it'll be Sydney Harbour Bridge out to Shark Island, out to the Heads type tide, running at 2-3 knots. So that'll be a factor in this afternoon's race as well.
Well, if you've just joined us, we're about 7 minutes or so away from the start of this final race for the club point score and the club championship in a southerly breeze of probably 14 to 18 knots on the southerly course. We're here at Athol Bay ready for the start, and it's a week away from the big titles. I'm Peter Shipway, and joining us today is Phil Barnett and Jimmy Bury. And Phil, as usual, we're getting a lot of people getting excited about the JJs. We've got a lot of people come online and expressing hellos to us, which is great, and we really appreciate it, this Sail Media team. We've got Paul McNamara. Well, he's back. He's a great supporter. He was down the club last week, but he's at home watching the NRL Vegas style, so he's got a split-screen TV, I'd say, watching us and watching the footy. Trevor Parker from Sydney, British Columbia. Hello to you, Trevor. Nick Ralph's back. Olivia Dameron. Where's Olivia? He gets around the world. Oh, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Looking forward to another gorgeous day of 18s on Sydney Harbour. Well, it's not too much sun, but it's a good sailing day and it's quite warm. We've got about 6 minutes to go to the start. Graham Long there from Perth. Glorious day in Perth as usual. Good on you, Graham. Thanks for your support. Will Hirth, big shout for the Vacaris team. Will Hirth and the kids in the States are frothing over a bar in Chicago. Graham Bennett from Darwin. Hello to you, Graham. Ian Barnard. Missed last week. Yes, it was noted, Ian. And as we're just hearing signals now, 5 minutes to go for the start of this final point score and club championship. Ian Barnard, that's a poor excuse. Your wife wanted to play golf. I don't think we can allow that. That's a black mark for you. Julian Hannibus is there. Richard McLaren from Port Moresby. Hello to you, Richard. Chris Steele from Auckland. I think Johnny Montgomery's from New Zealand as well. Hello to you, Johnny, and Dad PJ. Theo Smith from Toronto, Canada. Joy Brown's back from Bribie Island. Winston 905 from Hamilton, Canada. Well, we've got people from all over the world here. Giles Olland from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Andy King. Jeff Dawson, might have mentioned Peter Firminger, Nipper Henderson's there, Douglas Reed from Launceston, Jamie W. Waving from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Paul Moriarty, hello from Wagga Wagga. So thank you again for your great support. We really, really value that. But just under 4 minutes to go. Coven, what do we got here? We've got a bit of breeze coming through under this cloud, haven't we? A bit more than we've seen for a little while.
Yes, but still downrange for this small rig that they've got on, Pete. But I just sort of mentioned too, with this 90th anniversary season, the handicap result in conjunction with today's race is also important. Obviously, Rag and Famish have already locked away the club championship for this season. But the all-important point score is a handicap race that's sometimes run just as a handicap race, but also in conjunction with the club championship races. And we currently have Balmain sitting on 82 points, with Rag hotly on their tail on 83, and Yandu in 89 points. So we're probably not going to be able to relay the winner of that to the viewers because of the handicap scenario. But we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, great win to Rag and Famish. He's had a very good season. He's a clear winner on the club championship. That can't be taken away from him. But we're just watching with about 2.5 minutes to go. There's a police launch that's towing a broken down small powerboat across the starting line. I think he'll be clear by the time we get starting, but we'll see him in a moment. Perhaps flashing his lights there where he is.
It looks like a marine rescue vessel.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yes, it is, yeah.
Yep.
So he will be clear of the starting line. We've got 2:15 to go in this southerly. It's spiking, it's up and down. There's some big hollows in this breeze cup.
What
That's
about,
for sure.
Are we looking at going right on the course, Pete, or are we looking at going over to Bradley's to the left?
Well, I think you'd want to get out in the middle to get some tide benefit, wouldn't you?
So that's a given. Yeah,
I think you'd probably want to get onto port pretty quickly, but it is a bit shifty as we see in this breeze. There's the overhead from the pin end, looking back towards the committee boat, just to the left of, or right under the Opera House, really. And that's rescue boat is just clearing the starting line, so no issues there with 1.5 minutes to go. Don't forget that Smeg are today's race sponsor, one of the long-time and great sponsors of 18-foot skiff racing. The official Vacaris start line, that instrumentation that's supplied back to the boats, and they know if they're naughty boys, they'll have to come back. But they've been pretty good over the recent few weeks, but careful what we wish for here, Cub. I think they might be pushing it a bit today with some pretty hot competition out there as they want to get wound up for the JJs with 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go, Pete, and the breeze has just dropped another few knots. We're lucky if we're seeing about 8 to 10 knots here at the moment on the start line.
Yeah, it would have been nice if someone had gambled on the big rig, but that's not happened today. Everyone on their smaller rigs.
I think they're all trying to be a little bit conservative with the JJs coming up, the major championship and the end of the season for the 18-foot skiffs.
Okay, we're 30 seconds away from a start. Lazarus down the bottom end of the line. He's been one of the better starters of this season. He's another team that could figure prominently in the JJs. We've got Marine Outlet. He's down there as well. Josh Barepsky sailing the Marine Outlet today. The Queenslanders are down the leeward end with Kitchen Maker.
There's a few boats just out of shot at the moment, really racking up for the boat end too, Pete. I see the Kobe there and Yandu.
Here they come in with 5 seconds to go. I think
there's going to be a few late.
They're going to be clean, I think. Yeah, we're away. By Kobe. Oh, individual recall. Who was that advanced, was it?
I think someone...
Balmain, was it? Someone in the middle of the line. Was it Balmain? We'll try and get that to you shortly. But Vycobi, Yandu, Rag and Famish very strong at the committee boat. They're a couple of seconds late, but nonetheless, they're all going away on starboard except the Royal Oak 4 Pines is tacked to get away from dirty air, but the breeze is down. Look, they're struggling for pressure, the whole fleet.
There's a little bit of breeze over on the Bradley's head shore.
Vycobi have tacked early. You can't see them. Yandu and the Rag. There's Vycobi now, getting out on port. And there's good breeze to where he's going, and he's going to have good tide. It's Kirk Mitchell.
That's there for free too, Pete.
But you're in good pressure.
Yeah, good pressure. Looking down the other end of the line, not much happening down there. They're bowed down a little.
Yeah, it's very light over under Bradley's. That's the bulk of the fleet are there.
The two boats, Shippo, that were over Marine Outlet and the Bigfoot.
Okay, well,
Marine Outlet and the Bigfoot. The Queenslanders.
Yeah,
okay,
came through from.
I think they haven't gone back, so they'll just keep going. We'll keep that in mind that they were over. I think there's no point in going back. They just want to test their speed. I would think going back now would rule them completely out of this race. But anyway, we're away. A big split. A lot have gone left, and those boats that bounced into Bradley's look okay now. The breeze has gone a bit left for them here, Cub, with pressure.
Bigfoot's taken a bit of a step out, but as we've just heard from the committee vessel, he's going to be a non-finisher if he does any good during the day.
The bottom of the screen is Kitchen Maker, and out in front of him is the Bigfoot, and above the kitchen maker is Lazarus, who's been a strong contender this year. But they're in good breeze now. It's whistling round Bradley's head. It's in the left.
Yeah, I think we're just seeing a little bit of a southeast kick to this breeze. Up around the 15 knots now, coming out of Point Viper. So it's going to see them in good stead to that top mark. It's just they're going to get up there in a double bay, round the mark and set their spinnakers and head down the harbour. So that's going to take some traffic management today. There's plenty of boats out here today, Pete. There's a Sydney Harbour regatta on with all the yachts racing out of Middle Harbour Yacht Club. So that's created a little bit of extra traffic.
But the breeze is in the left, so it's favoured those boats that stood on starboard off the starting line. And the boat that will be interesting when it comes back is Vykobi, who was really one of the first to go out into the right. But just looking from where we're positioned off Bradley's head, it doesn't look as though they're in great shape. But it always gets tricky as we get closer up to Clark Island, the weather mark. There's some big shifts, but at the moment there's pressure in the left.
Pete, Vykobi took a bit of a hit there out of port and starboard with one of the other boats, and they had to tack back. So they've done more tacks than what they really would have liked to. And I think you're right, the leaders are starting to come from the left-hand side of the course.
And very strong in the middle is off camera is the kitchen maker. But we're on Rag and Famish, the Australian champion.
Who's gone through attack.
He's in really good pressure here. That's best pressure we've seen all day here, Cub.
Yep.
And that 18 might be a spike to 20. These little rigs coming into their play for sure now. You'd be struggling with a big rig.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this will be the rig for the day. But
there's
you know, I'm liking where Finport is. If you can see just on screen now, he's got a nice clean pair of heels there, and he's stretched out.
Don't forget, new skipper in John Harris, steering Finport. Keegan, the normal skipper's in the bow, and Ian Jensen's on the sheet. But the boats in the middle still look strong to me, but we'll get back to them shortly. But that's Finport.
Okay.
That boat is a non-racing boat. I think it's one of the British boats out just training. He's not in the race. But anyway, back to the race boats. There's Finport.
I tell you who's not in bad shape either is the new kitchen maker. He's
he got a very good start down that Lewin end, clear air, but we're starting to get back together again now after a big split in the fleet. They're all starting to converge up near the windward end.
Yeah, there's been a big shake-up. The left was the right way to go for these boats. More pressure. Slightly swung to the southeast, so advantage any of the boats that are on the left-hand side of the course.
I think Yandu's going to be pretty close to the lead here. There's Yandu going into Clark Island. He won't get to a ley line, I don't think. He'll have to tack in a moment. There he goes now. Don't forget, Mike Kennedy in the bow for Lewis Brake with Tom Needham and Fang Warren and Balmain in good shape again.
Yeah, he's right on their heels at the moment, the Balmain.
Henry Larkins, Tom Grimes and Flint Toomey.
Flint Toomey, 24 on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday this week.
Just a young bloke.
Just a young bloke, so.
Half his luck.
All right, Pete was right. The Yandu's not going to... There's still 2 tacks before they lay that top mark.
Yeah, they just couldn't get far enough advanced on the island.
I'm just wondering if Balmain will lay in one, Pete.
We've gone a bit further, yeah. A tight lay, but Yandu will lead. We're just approaching the weather mark here in Double Bay. Then the big run down to Obelisk, which never fails to let us down with thrills and spills. But Yandu will lead. Kitchen Maker would be close to 3rd or 4th or perhaps 2nd. He's going to take a duck behind Balmain. Balmain are laying. So Balmain will lay. Yandu got a bit of work to do here. Okay, they're around, and Yandu leads. Finport coming in on port. They're going to duck round in 2nd. Good work from John Harris, all clean. Oh, Balmain just took a bit of a
got a crewman over the side there, but back on board.
Okay, so away. Yandu, Finport, Balmain, the Bigfoot. Don't forget they were over at the start. Kitchen Maker around wide. Then Marine Outlet, they were over as well. Josh Porepsky steering. Then the Black Knight from Germany. Then Rag and Famish, one of the title favourites for the JJs.
Not on the screen, Pete, just to the right of the camera cat at the moment. Lazarus looks like they're heading home. So
yeah,
the Lazarus supporters,
I would say they have retired, Jimmy. Thank you. Oh, quick Spinnaker sets on a few skiffs. Yandu are up and going. Okay, next around will be 6th. Then Shaw and Partners. Joel Turner in the middle for Emma Rankin. And next, with a wobbly old tack, is Vycobi, just tacking to leeward of Smeg. So they were the big losers out of that beat, I think. Vycobi going right early. They got absolutely punished there around. Smeg round the outside. Next will be Hoffelhaus from Germany.
So, Peter, there's a few of the boats have elected not to set spinnakers on this run down to Obelisk.
Yeah, well, Yandu's struggling to make Bradley's head at the moment. So a lot of them two sail reaching, going high. And it's, you'd see top of screen, that's Yandu with a white spinnaker, Balmain with the orange spinnaker, and the Bigfoot with a purple spinnaker. They trying to fight hard to get round Bradley's.
Finport on the right-hand side group has just set their spinnaker.
Yeah, that looks pretty smart to me where they are. But this is the group that led, trying to get, they're getting around Bradley, they're just doing it, but there's a couple of big significant headlands in front of them yet to come.
Okay, Pete, looks like Yandu's going to make it around Bradley's, but they've still got a few headlands to go. Bits of terra firma down there.
The sky clearing a little bit, the sun just starting to break out. Breeze has spiked up, that's the good news. And we're away on this long run down to Obelisk Bay, the leeward turning mark.
So currently Yandu still leads with Balmain in second. The OCS boat, Bigfoot Colours in third spot. Probably just got a little bit light for the boats up here to windward of Yandu. Yandu on screen now. He's past the Bradley's Head Reef.
Yeah, he looks pretty good there. He's still got to get around Chowder Head and George's Head. They're quite significant bits of real estate, as Cub was saying.
Just got a little bit of breeze filling in for Finport there, but just on their, right on their hammer, I'm watching the Rag and Fami's just picking a few places up at the moment.
This is a great battle here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boats, all very close to each other. Yandu's now off to the races. They're going right into Taylor's Bay. They're going to have to drop. Finport working hard with John Harris at the helm. They can quickly grab the lead here. Yandu down to leeward, dropping their spinnaker.
And crew work everything on this spinnaker run down here, Pete.
Finport just got on.
Just hit away.
Hit away, bow down, they're over.
Down.
Oh dear, they went very quickly. So they're out of play. And it's the Germans in the Black Knight with the blue and black spinnaker, with Rag trying to drive over the top of them. They'll be very well placed.
He did that exact same thing 2 weeks ago in exactly the same place, Pete. There's Rag and Famish on screen.
They're doing a great job.
Yeah, they're
Harry
great.
Price, very polished crew here.
Yeah, just sitting in very close to being in second position now.
But Yandu's dropped and they will still lead, but they're going to have to reset. The
Rag's dropping their chute now.
They're
Pete.
dropped.
Yeah.
Halyard gone quickly. The Germans and the Black Knight hanging on. Marine Outlet down to leeward. They've dropped too. Balmain would still be third. Black Knight second. Very close. That's Yandu, top right of screen. The Black Knight with the black and blue spinnaker. They are in second spot and right up their exhaust pipe with no spinnaker is Balmain. Now the Black Knight are dropping.
There's a small group just behind this main fleet, which includes 6 Shaw and Partners and Vycobi, and they're starting to make some gains.
But it's Yandu streaking away at the moment. And
I wonder if Burger's had to reach for the oxygen
Oh,
here.
he'll be huffing and puffing on Mike Kennedy, former Yandu crew member with John Woody winning, but he's been out of the game for a little while. And
yeah, the people's champion, I think.
yeah, he's been a good paddock though, the Burger. Got plenty of weight to swing it out. He'll need that. It's a long course. So
They've got a comfortable lead at the moment. Look, they've
jumped away
extended that.
nicely.
Yeah, just extended.
That's them top of screen just going off shot. That's Balmain left. Black Knight, Bigfoot, and up to windward is a Rag and Famish.
Rag and Famish just resetting their shoot. Windward set, always a little bit difficult, but they're 3 strings and away again. All they got to do is get round the headland down here, and then they've got time to bear away and run into the obelisk mark.
Yandu not far off a reset here. They're just George's Head. They're going up high to set to go down into obelisk.
Okay.
Still.
Rag and Famish is just under pressure at the moment with that shoot on.
That's the group for second, third, and fourth, led by the Black Knight, Balmain, and Bigfoot. The white spinnaker belongs to Rag and Famish. The Yandu getting very high now on course.
Just in the on the Rag and Famish there at the moment, they look like they'll probably make it past this next headland, so that's an advantage for them.
Okay, Yandu not setting. They're still high on mark in good pressure. He's trying to get down, Tom Needham, to this mark. I don't think he will. I think he's going to have to set here, Cup.
Going in now for a set, Pete.
Oh,
Burger's in. There we go. Shoot up. Let's. Probably a bit late.
Yeah, they're on Yandu.
Yeah. Rag and Famish is behind them, but to leeward of them and right on the money for that mark.
Okay. Yandu just got the spinnaker set, but charging down the headland. You can see him as Rag and Famish off him now at the moment. But Yandu leads. There's the Rag. Powering down the leeward of Yandu. He's on a pretty good lay for this mark. Yandu got themselves a little bit high, as you said, Cup.
I think Yandu might have to do a job to get back to that bottom mark.
That could be a bit ugly.
That's costly. I'd say that's going to be the case, and Rag and Famish is bang on the money.
Well, they're the 2 boats, and they're probably the 2 of the favourites for the JJ, throwing everything at it. But at the moment, I'd say advantage Rag.
There we are with Rag at the moment, Harry. They'll be starting to think about their drop, Pete, I reckon. They've got
Max Paul and Finn Rodowitz, very polished crew.
just behind us, the Yandu has jibed.
And it's spiky. Wind up here, 18 knots.
Early drop for the Yandu.
Okay, the Rag looked tidy coming in. Yandu might, if they can execute here, they'll just duck round in front of them. They've got a bit of work to do. It's going to be a bit ugly here. The Yandu got a jibe. Here they go, spinning.
Oh, this is very ugly, very ugly.
It is uglier and uglier, and they're over.
And they've hit.
Oh, they've hit.
Rag and Famish have been cleaned up by the capsizing Yandu. All right.
Okay, well, you could see that coming, couldn't we?
Yeah, but they got out of it. Rag and Famish are settled.
They're on their way. Balmain have got it the next to jibe.
I didn't see any damage there either, which is a good thing.
Okay, Balmain did well. Young crew. Oh, they got a void. Oh,
have they got room there to get through?
Doesn't look like it. Very tight. Oh, no, they're through. Thread the net. It's all happening as it does down here, as we tell you every time at Obelisk.
Okay,
where's the Germans get out of that? They've gone way past the mark in the Black Knight.
The breeze has picked up about 5 or 6 knots, Pete, down here at the bottom mark.
Someone flicked the switch.
Yeah, absolutely flicked the switch.
20 plus. Okay, the Black Knight around. Marine Outlet did a good job.
Vycobe's back in it.
Vycobe are right in it.
Yep. So Rag and Famish currently lead with Balmain second and Marine Outlet third, I think we'd call it.
And the boys from Queensland, the Bigfoot, they went way past the mark as well. It really got spiky here. Sixth is around. They're probably about 5th or 6th. The Kitchen Maker has gone well past the mark. Oh, people got chicken winged up down here, Cub, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, Pete. And look, that's what I was saying before. It was all about crew work coming down this particular spinnaker run. And I know I've been watching a lot of these guys during the week out practising, even though they've sailed all season. They're trying to polish up their last-minute manoeuvres for the JJs. And I think the crews that have been sailing together all season as a team are now starting to show.
Well, it certainly showed there they had plenty of work to do. But don't forget, it's a big outgoing tide, so Probably they'll work the shore at some stage, but they've got to get across to that eastern side. The weather mark is at Shark Island, so it's a long beat up. The breeze has settled down a little bit now, probably 15, 16 knots. But it's the Rag leads. But
that might even be a bit fresher over in Watson's Bay.
Balmain have done a very good job up here. They've just tacked. And there's Marine Outlet tacking as well. So they're the three leaders. Oh, Marine Outlet's capsized.
Oh, Marine Outlet gone.
Yeah. So after all that, Vycobi has probably got himself into third position.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, good work. They played it safe down that run. They went up high, set at the right time, but here's a race in three. And this is a good race here for the lead between Balmain and the Rag and Famish. These Balmain boys are coming good at the right time. And
they're nice and settled. The boat's really flat.
Yeah, and Vycobi looks strong too. And there's a bit of a graveyard down at Obelisk, as always is the case. Yandu is still capsized, I think, Jimmy, are they, or are they up?
Yeah, no, they're still capsized. Fang was up on the bow pole trying to retrieve something that had twisted itself around. So
dear.
Well, Berger was laying in the bottom of the boat.
Collapsed on the defib.
Yeah, no, I think
that was pretty tough down there for them.
The oxygen mask got tangled, I think.
Yeah, well, here's a good race. We'll concentrate on this leading group. These two boats are a point apart for the point score. The Rag have got the club championship sewed up, but this point score is based on handicaps. We won't, unfortunately, be able to bring that to you. We'll let you know next week who that point score winner is. But these two are fighting it out. And just down to leeward, very much in the game, is Vycobi.
That boat with the old DeLonghi Spinnaker just going through there is the Goat from Great Britain.
The Goat.
The GBR.
Yeah, with Luke, Cam and Andrew aboard.
Great aerial shot there from the Sail Media.
These Balmain are doing a good job. They're high and fast.
Yep.
Trying to get up to the line of the Rag. So Harry Price has got a game on his hand here.
Hey, just over here on our right, I know we're off screen at the moment, but the Black Knight's over here.
Yeah, he's bouncing off George's head. He looks okay, doesn't he?
He doesn't look too bad.
Probably had a little bit less tied up going up across Obelisk Bay, but
that's going to put him in third spot. He's on screen now, so it's the German team.
He'll cross Vycobi quite clearly. He's not going to be far off the lead, as you say, Cub. Just joined us. We're on the long beat up now into Rose Bay, Shark Island. This final point score and club championship race of the season. It's the last club race before we go into the big ones. So here's the top three. Balmain, Rag and the Black Knight. Rag still leads, just slightly to windward of the Balmain.
Just looking back, Yandu's actually righted the boat now and started to sail.
What's happened here? Rag's pulled down below Balmain. He's gone down to leeward of him. He's bowed down and gone for speed. Balmain have held high. They've done a terrific job. Henry Larkins, Tom Grimes and Flint Toomey. That is a great effort. Rag couldn't live there, so he had to get down to leeward of him, and they're away. Balmain leads. Spectator Ferry there. We'll just see the bow of the Spectator Ferry. Huge group.
On the Spectator Ferry, Shippo Rob, the skipper that used to be on the Royale and skipper of the Mandalay. Today's his last day after 16 years of driving a Spectator boat for the 18s.
Oh,
it's his last day today.
Yes, mate, yes.
Good on him. Yeah, he's done a great job. Well liked. Terrific guy. Does a very good job piloting that. But it's not easy on the harbour and trying to get a good view for everyone, so well done. Job well served.
Great effort.
Yeah, well, here's the race leader, and it's a good breeze now, Cub, isn't it? 15, 18 knots as we look up into Rose Bay.
Starting to get that pressure come out of Rose Bay now.
Good.
You know, it just filters down through there. They are in maximum outgoing tide where they are at the moment.
It's a lot of white caps. You can see that there. There's the Balmain boys really looking strong. Now, what's the tactics here are that Rags put the foot down, trying to go fast to try and get advanced on Balmain, but the Balmain are holding their height. At the moment, they still lead, but Harry Price has said, I'm going to go for a bit of speed here. So he's just put the bow down and gone for speed to try and get advanced far enough so he can come back and cross Balmain. As we look at a group of yachts coming off Chowder Bay, And I think they're going to be 18. The 2 litres going to be across the boy. It's good breeze now, Cubby.
It's really settled.
Wouldn't want to be on a big rig here,
Struggling.
On that yacht there, Oz 238, is Dolly. And Andrew Devola.
Regular commentator Andrew Devola on the boat there. Looks like they're leading as well. Back on Rag and Famish.
They are going quick, let me tell you. They haven't got the height of Balmain, but boy, they're going through the water very quickly.
I've watched the Rag and Famish most of the season, Peter, and I've noted a few times that Harry just decides to sail fast sometimes, and he lets her have its head and away she goes. And he worries about the position of the boat a little bit later. So there's our 2 race leaders, Rag and Famish, Balmain on screen. Looks like Bigfoot still there, and we've got Vycobi out to our right, and probably in a little bit of a down pressure area of the harbour at the moment. Look at Harry looking around. He's
really stretched down to leeward and gone ahead. Jimmy, someone's asked, did we get any comms on why Lazarus retired? We didn't hear anything, did we?
No, we didn't. And in the back of that shot there, you got the Burrowang. Looks like
they've retired
as well and heading home.
And don't forget that the Bigfoot and Marine Outlet were over at the start, and they did not go back. So they're still racing, although Marine Outlet capsized.
I don't know if something's happened to Black Knight, but he seems to have dropped back substantially. I don't know if
he was
a bad tack. He's right over in Watson's Bay at the moment.
Yeah.
On screen.
He got absolutely clobbered there. Okay. Well, we're just going back now to, there's the Black Knight, there's the Bigfoot, the Queensland. The blue stripe on the sail is Burrowang. She's not in the race. She's retired, but...
And just remember our Bigfoot Queensland competitors here are OCS.
Yeah, that's a shame, but they're doing a very good job. For the sake of a couple of seconds at the start, they're right in it. They're 3rd on the water at the moment, but Rag going back into Nielsen Park, but Balmain standing out off Steel Point halfway across the harbour between east and west sides of the harbour. They've had a long port tack.
Pete, do you recall where Bigfoot ran in the JJs last year? I think it was 3rd or 4th.
I think he was up there, certainly in the top 6, I think.
So he's showing his form from last year. He's certainly not out of it.
I know Angus Roxburgh is watching from Queensland, so he knows most things. He will tell us where
he'll send you a text.
Bigfoot was, and he'll probably tell us to do our homework, and we should know. But we'll rely on
That's
our
Bigfoot on
supporters.
Screen there currently. We're sailing really well.
Oh, they're just into a Marine Outlet. On Burrowang. They're not in the race. They started, but they've cut the corner.
Looks like he's just trying to stay out of the way as well, so that's a good thing. Yep.
Simon Nern.
The pressure's just backed off a little bit here as we're sitting due southeast of the golf club up there in Rose Bay.
There's Nielsen Park, Steel Point. You'll see Balmain in a moment. There's Balmain. He's still ahead of Rag and Famish.
So this is a bit of a pinch point in the course, Pete. We've got Shark Island on the right, and the eastern suburbs here, obviously the left. And the boats are going to have to come back together to.
One thing I know, the tide would be racing around Steel Point, powering out of Rose Bay. So I would think Balmain will want to get out of there quickly. He's just got the ferry in his way, the spectator ferry. That's always used to be a bit of a bad luck omen. The spectator ferry always gets in the way at some stage. So he's tacked off onto port. Rag's still on port, going out in the middle of Rose Bay. We've got a very good race on our hands. I think Vycobi is very much coming into it. They're coming out back on start from the middle of the harbour. That big long port tack they took up towards Bradley's Head looks like it may have paid off. Pete, they've got a nice little southerly shift here. Gear looks good. Kirk Mitchell, Andrew Stevenson, and some bloke called Barnett.
Yeah, they've been really concentrating on their training this week, so that's been good.
Yeah. Well, there's Balmain and Vycobi, two of the young crews in this 18-foot skiff fleet. We've still got Black Knight. He's dropped back a little.
Tell you who's going really well. He's Shore and Partners.
Joel Turner on board with Emma. They've come right into it. They were doing a lot of rig tuning in the park this morning. Michael Spees is their advisor. Speesy, a former JJ champion. He was down tweaking the rig.
What could go wrong with him?
So he reckons they're going to be a threat. So let's hope they are. And Emma's battled away all year and really been a great little competitor. So
Speedy tells me he's never going to sail two-handed to Hobart again.
I don't blame him. Anyway, there's the Rag and Balmain. They're the two leaders. We're about well into Rose Bay, the turning mark at Shark Island. And here's a close cross. I think the Rag's back in front. The Rag is in front by a couple of boat lengths.
There's only a couple of boat lengths in it, Pete.
So it's if you're good enough, you're close enough. That's Shark Island top screen. They'll go round the
This is
Australia mark.
also one of the parts of the course where if you get it wrong, you get it really wrong with the tactics. If you get it right, you'll gain a couple of places.
The next Spinnaker run or reach is always a problematical one, whether you set early and then try and get round Bradley's or go two sail reaching high and then set late. But we'll just see how this plays out. Two very good skilled crews in the lead. We're in Rose Bay, a few white caps now. It's good, 15, 18 knots for sure.
A little bit of low clouds inducing some of that breeze, Pete, I think.
So Balmain on starboard when the Rag comes back. So Harry will probably go out and try and get a ley line, give himself a bit of wriggle room to come back there. He just tacked. Bit of wriggle room to drop behind Balmain if it's close. It is going to be close. No, I think the Rag is going to be across. He's going to be clear ahead. Well sailed, Harry Price.
It's going to be a drag race to this next mark now.
Gee, it's fresh here at Shark Island. Probably don't see it on camera, but we've got a lot of wind coming out of Rose Bay down that dip in the headlands up here between Bellevue Hill and Rose Bay. Significant dip in the land. Breeze is powering out through over the ocean and through that gap into Rose Bay, but Rag's jumped out to a nice lead here. If he's on a ley line, he's really opened up again.
It looks like our top three, Rag and Famish, Balmain and Vycobi.
They're in light left-hand shift too, which makes things good for the Rag.
Vycobi tacked a little earlier, but they're laying the mark, so they've a little bit of gain there.
Yeah, there could be something else to come into play here in a minute. We'll just see it. Will this bloke win the Kumquat of the Year award, this powerboat?
He will if he takes off.
Okay, here goes the Rag. He's going to take off. Yeah. Okay, so Harry Price leads in the Rag and Famish with Max Paul and Finn Rodowitz. Okay, no, that powerboat's gone away. I'll take that all back. A very friendly fellow. Okay, Balmain round now. Deficit about 20 seconds.
Rag and Famish has cleared the wharf on Shark Island. No issues there. Balmain's pretty comfortable.
Oh, this is a good lay from Vycobi. Oh, Bigfoot are not in the... They're third on the water, but they're not in the race. They're OCS. What's a great lay line from Vycobi.
Yeah, that's put them back into it even more.
Yeah, so breeze went left. That's a good effort.
Gains.
They're the boat that have made the gains from where they were at the weather mark the first time. Vycobi round in third. And then a fair gap to the Black Knight will be fourth.
Black Knight, probably Marine Outlet and Kitchen Maker, followed by Shore and Partners. Look, we believe Burrowing's out of this race, so he's continuing to sail with the fleet, probably for a little bit of practice. Black Knight round the mark.
If we did get that wrong.
Ooh, burrowing. Just another capsize right beside us. All right, but the boats have taken off down here. In the distance, Rag and Famish have just set the chute. So they're going to the bottom mark.
It's a grey old day where they're going down off Athol Bight. It looks a bit of rain in the distance, but anyway, we're just watching the fleet go round. Marine Outlet have done well. They had a capsize. Kitchen Maker, strong as well. Where did Shaw and Partners end up out of all that? They're next around.
Just coming around now.
Good job, Emma Rankin. After them will be sixth. But they're away. Spinnaker's starting to pop up now. Rag first to set, then Vycobi, then Balmain. They're the top three.
Balmain's struggling a little in the distance there. He's got to get round Bradley's head.
It's him with the orange chute. That's fine. We're on Vycobi. Kirk Mitchell, Andrew Stevenson, and Dan Barnett.
They've
got a beauty now.
They're starting to struggle as well. Low hooks, Pete.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't sink me.
No.
Yeah, those two are struggling. The Rag is around. Black Knight off camera going high without a spinnaker.
I think what we've been seeing as they get down towards Bradley's head, the breeze is going over the top of Bradley's a little bit, so it lightens off and they're able to lift up. If they just judge it correctly, they won't have to drop the chute and they'll be putting more pressure on the Rag and Famish.
Okay, there's the Brisbane boys setting now. There's Balmain. They're around Bradley's. Vycobi working hard to get round Bradley's. I think they're going to get round.
I think they're right.
The hard work for the crews. There's Balmain, full wick. Rag jumped away to a nice lead here. So we go round this mark, this leeward mark, and then back up into double bay, and we do it all again.
So nice work from the Rag and Famish. They weren't in the lead at the start. They hung back a little and, they just put the foot down going down to the obelisk mark, Pete. And here they are, where they like to be out in front.
Look at this drone shot of the Balmain boys. We're right in the cockpit with them. They're working overtime, but they're laying down to the mark. Well, they're a bit below it, so they'll drop early and come up. And then right on the hammer of the Vycobi boys, but the Rag has dropped. They're about 5 boat lengths from the mark. We'll see the orange mark shortly. There it is.
Okay.
So they're on the wind. The Rag leads. Behind them, Balmain have dropped.
He's probably extended there a little bit too, Pete, I think.
And here comes Vycobi at full wick. Full wick. They're dropping now.
Got the two.
You can see the wind coming down the harbour in streaks, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah. Balmain's got their chute down and away. They're coming to the mark now.
Yeah, Vycobi, a good job too. They're just Main and Jim reaching in now.
There we go. Balmain round in second place. Yeah. Shoots away.
Vycobi got to do the dial up. Here they go. 3, 2, 1. Yep.
They're a little bit lower, that mark, Pete, but still good. Got the dial up done. Rounding in third spot.
It's quite fresh here again. Or still, if you like. Queenslanders off camera. They've left their drop very late. They're well to leeward, but Marine Outlet now got a really good gust. You can see it coming around Bradley's. And these two boats, the next around will be Bigfoot. They were OCS. Then the Black Knight, followed by Marine Outlet. There's Josh Perepsky steering her today. Okay, next round's the Bigfoot. Marine Outlet dropping their spinnaker, the Black Knight. Well, they've been hanging in there all day.
Yeah, it's a little bit better effort this week after that bit of a wake-up call last week in that good nor'easter.
Jet lag.
A bit of jet lag.
Jet lag. Yep. Jet lag.
All right, on screen, Kitchen Maker.
Yeah, they've done a good job. That's Lockie Steele, Ryan Lindsay and Jerome Watts. I haven't seen the Smeg. Have we seen next with the?
I saw the Smeg. They were back in full-back position, Pete, going down that first spinnaker run. So I think they've come unstuck there.
That's Shaw and Partners with the red spinnaker dropping, and sixth with the orange spinnaker, and then behind them is that Victorians, Team Victoria, Scott Cunningham, Brodie Riley, and Dave Cunningham.
So they're hanging in there, Pete, the Victorians, and like in the whole scheme of things, they're only a few minutes behind the leaders. So that's not a bad effort again from them.
It's a little bit in distance, but as you say, in time, it's not a great amount. And this next big run too will sort them out. As watching Kitchenmaker just leading Shaw and Partners around. Remember Joel Turner on the main sheet, Brandon Bynick and Emma Rankin. And next around is the sixth boys. Team of Jacob Marks, Alex Marinelli and Matt Doyle, followed by they're around, and Team Victoria will be next, and then it's a fair gap, a long gap. I don't see anyone else getting. There's a couple, one with a white spinnaker coming down, is there?
They're I believe is a Smeg Shippo.
Yeah, there's Smeg in the distance, but
yeah, they're a long way back there, boy. Just
on Emma there and the Shaw and Partners. They you know, I've watched Emma this season. She's had a few different crews. That makes it hard. She's actually been doing really well this season, and hats off to her for sailing so well and getting a good crew together. And you know, they obviously got a fantastic sponsor in Shaw and Partners.
Well, I think Joel Turner will add a lot of strength and stability to that team for Emma. He's here for the duration now, till the end of the JJs. But just see the streaks of wind coming down. And it's quite breezy, very breezy. It doesn't look that breezy on screen, but boy, I can tell you it's solid 15, 16, 17 knots. There's the Black Knight in fourth position. Heinrich van Bayen, Thomas and Andy Martin, the European champions. And that's Bigfoot, the Queensland team.
I think as the race unfolds too, Pete, you get a lot of excitement at the start from a cruise perspective. Trying to work out where you're going to be on the course, how you're going, but as the race progresses, you know, you're all warmed up and you're just settling into routines and trying to sail the boat as fast as you can. They're all just making sure all the controls on board are set perfectly, and yeah, look, I think it gets a little bit easier as you go around, well, especially if you stay upright.
Yes, well, what we're seeing, the Rags jumped away quite nicely, but Vycobi have crossed Balmain, so they've slotted into second spot. We've just got off camera, got Yandu still running down after their demise at the obelisk mark. There's the second German boat, the Hoffelhaus, running down. There's Balmain going up on port. Vycobi have gone way out to the left.
They have.
Oh, that's a bit of a gamble.
Let's see.
There's Vycobi.
The other one I haven't seen, Shippo, is the Finport.
Well, they had that really bad capsize down that run just off Taylor's Bay, Jimmy. I don't know whether they decided to go home or not, but it looked quite a nose-diving capsize.
Vycobi have got good breeze out there on the left.
They have.
That's the only bonus for going out there, is looking for that pressure on screen now. They've definitely, Balmain's got a little bit chicken winged up here with one of the inner harbour ferries, so he's already done about 3 tacks more than Vycobi going to this top mark. And you'll see the spectator ferry come into view shortly. Got a loose cover on a couple of the boats.
Okay, well, I'm going to get a time differential up here, but it looks to me that the Rag has really extended this lead. And it's really fresh here. The sun's coming out in Double Bay.
Not on screen, Shippo, but the Black Knight just experienced the joys of the lull below the ferry.
They go in backwards?
Going backwards, yes.
Well, as I say, it's a hard harbour, that's for sure. But
let's just watch, Pete, the Rag and Femish come around this mark. It's fresh here now.
Fresh, you're right, Cubby.
Oh, we've got some damage on the Balmain. Looks like the headsail's carried away a little.
Okay, well, off camera, the Rags are round. They're off to Obelisk with a very clear lead. Yeah, Balmain's out of action. What's happened? The jib
luff looks like it's let go at the top.
Yeah. Okay, their day's over.
Okay. So quite handy that it was close to Double Bay, I suppose.
Yeah, well, and handy it didn't happen next week. But anyway, they were certainly in it. But at the moment, it's Vycobi who are clearly second. And
All
Rag have done an early set.
Right, let's see how they go down there this time. It just depends on the gusts coming out of Rose Bay. They'll either get there in one or they'll have to drop and reset.
Okay.
Tacking delay, the top mark now is the Vycobi on screen. A little bit down pressure here for them.
Yeah, it's good breeze to get bear away in. There's not much breeze here. It's just up and down.
Okay, there they go.
They're around. The delta is 56 seconds.
Right, that's a great lead for the Rag and Famish. But
and they're straight into a set 2 by the look of it. Yep, crew in, working at it. So the Balmain is going home. Their day is over, unfortunately, with their jib just sliding down the forestay.
do you think he might continue on, Pete? Just looking for some point score points.
Well, he might.
He currently leads that.
It looks as though he is, actually.
You know,
won't be doing the jib much good, but
no, that's I'm concerned about that if the championship's coming up. But
anyway, he's around. Absolutely. Well, they're not going home.
Put it
So
in the
they're
tyre,
third.
wouldn't you? You'd capsize it, quickly try and jury rig something.
hopefully the loop at the top of the head soil's not damaged. It was the lashing or whatever they're using, the Dyneema.
Okay, well, there's the Rag just well above Bradley's this time. And back at the weather mark, there's the Bigfoot going around. Don't forget they were OCS. And then following them will be Marine Outlet, and they were also OCS.
Yeah, Marine Outlet just coming into that mark for the second time.
Good performance by the Queenslanders and also Marine Outlet. Josh steering the boat, Josh Baremski for the first time. But here's the race leader. An iconic shot, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, the skyline, and a flying 18-footer powering his way down in the lead to Obelisk. Harry Price, the Australian champion. Can he win his first JJs in it starting next week? That's the big question.
Balmain on screen. Look, it's hard to tell what's wrong with the head of that jib, but I suspect they want the points.
So, Vycobi a second. They're in a real screamer off Bradley's. Balmain, they look comfortable there with their jib all over the place.
So they've only got 2 more works to Balmain, so I think they'll stick it out. We're right on board here with the drone footage of the Rag and Famish.
It is a great shot. Look at that. That is 18-foot stiff sailing at its very best. And why wouldn't it be?
Especially if you're sitting on the couch, Pete.
Yeah, well, these boys are really a polished crew, and they're showing it today again. But they're going to have to drop shortly, I would think, because they've got Chowder Head approaching.
I think as I look up into Rose Bay behind us, there's the pressure's gone a bit south and not quite as hard. So we'll see how far they get down here.
Okay, they're starting to rag it now, so to speak, on the Rag. No, they're bending their backs to try and get around Chowder Head. They're doing it. They're doing it. I'll tell you what, they're doing it in great fashion. But next headland is George's Head.
Vycobi's struggling with a few powerboat waves there, Pete. Keep an eye on them.
They've got more to come too. Hang on to it, Kirk.
I think they're just playing it calm there, easing the sheet to go over, and not driving it through those waves.
Yeah, they're through the bad ones, but boy, oh boy, up in front, look at the Rag. Absolutely plummeting downwind. She's going to have to drop for sure. I won't say for sure. They've proved me wrong before, but they're deep in Chowder Bay.
He's going to have to drop.
He can't get out of there, can he?
No, he can't get out of there.
He'll almost have to tack out of there.
There he goes. Great job. And don't forget, they were 55 seconds ahead at the weather mark in Double Bay.
All right, let's keep an eye on that time. Vycobi's coming in quick.
They're probably a little bit higher than the Rag.
I think they were.
Yeah.
So that gives them just a bit of more wiggle room there to get down to this next headland.
Balmain not on screen, just dropping there. Spinnaker down in Taylor's.
Yep.
So they'll have a flapping jib all the way down. forget their jib is detached from the top and it's slid down somewhat.
Does look like the rag and famish have extended a little here, Pete.
They're getting that's the next headland, George's Head. They've got to get round, and they'll set pretty early. I think it showed last time. If you got too high like Yandu did, you really paid the penalty a bit later down the run.
I think it almost set now. He's clear of that reef.
Set and then lay down in one. That's what he did last time. That was a big gain.
Kobe in second are just dropping their chute now. So
Finn going in now to get the chute up. Jib off. Yeah. Perfect execution again. Windward set.
Now, Main probably took their spinnaker off very early, I suggest, but
anyway, good gusts around George's Head. They're around and on their way to Obelisk Mark. Little waves. There's a powerboat going down to leeward of them. It'll probably won't affect them too much. And they're just above the mark. I think they'll get the bow down and get round this leeward mark. He won't want to, he'll be trying to do that. He won't want two jibes to come in here.
Looks like he's going to have to.
Yeah, the moment he's bow up.
Breeze has dropped down a little.
Anyway, they're good enough and they go down now. He's getting as deep as he can here, Harry Price. Through that powerboat wash.
Kobe's round the headland. That's a good sign.
There's the mark. Just to windward of Rag and Famish, that yellow mark. That's the mark he's got to get to. He's laying down nicely. Almost perfect execution here.
Spinnaker going back up on the Kobe to chase down the Rag and Famish.
Okay, Rag's running pretty flat to get in here. The crew are in, but then they drop. They'll get down. You can see it's pretty square. The jib poking out to windward, but
18-foot skiffs do not like to run square,
no,
Pete.
not like the Aldos.
No.
Okay, okay, Spinnaker down.
A little bit late on the drop there, really, for the Rag and Famish, but they're round now, just a little bit lower the mark.
I'll set the clock. Okay, they're around. Here come Kobe, Kirk Mitchell, Andrew Stevenson, Daniel Barnett.
They look like they've got some solid pressure there, so they'll probably lay down here as well.
Yeah, they look nice at the moment. So, where is Balmain after all of that? Is that
he's back, Pete.
he dropped? What happened there? I don't know. So it's the Black
Balmain
Knight.
dropped a bit early, I think.
So third on the water would be Bigfoot, but Kobe and a screamer here. They've got a bit of work to do, these boys. They're lower the mark. That's the good news for them. So it'll be a drop and dial up, but in plenty of wind. The sky's clearing and the wind is increasing.
More on than the early settlers.
Yes, but these boys, if they're good enough, they'll get the job done, and they are good enough. Another team that are coming good at the right time of the year. It's been a minute now, the Delta, so he has increased. And there's still about 10 or 15 seconds from the mark. Here the Queenslanders put in a very good effort. Gee, it's fresh again here now.
A little dial up here for the Kobe.
Okay, there they are, minute 20.
Minute 20.
So he increased by 25 seconds. It's pretty good going from Harry Price. So the two leaders on their way upwind.
Just for the viewers again who've just joined us, really the purple spinnaker here, big foot bags and covers from Brisbane. He was over the start line at the start of the race, so he's OCS.
Now these two skiffs were on here. They've got a bit on here because they're above the mark. Although they've got pressure, I don't know whether they'll get down. Marine Outlet leads this. He was another one that was OCS, so they've already had a capsize. So they've performed very well. He's a good sailor, this Josh Barepsky. Very good sailor indeed. He's the Australian 49er coach. They're just jibing. Yeah, both these boats have got to jibe twice to come into this mark. Good jibe on Marine Outlet.
Got to do another quick one. Black Knight with the blue and black spinnaker. Balmain's elected to put their chute away early. I don't know whether they're going to attempt a repair there or not. Marine Outlet's jibe back and putting their spinnaker away.
Yep. The Gundy boys, Cam and Charlie, with Josh on Marine Outlet. So...
And then there's sort of a little bunch behind them too, Shaw and Partners.
Black Knight going to be a bit wobbly here. Coming square to this mark.
6 got plenty of pressure on in the back of all that pack there.
Just watch this. Both these boats running pretty flat to get round. Black Knight's around. Black Knight's around. Balmain around with the saggy old jib. Luff. Oh.
Surely that's not where you'd do it, would you?
I think they're going for the repair.
Yeah, but why would you do it there?
I know, it's going to upset all the fleet behind them. I suppose it's not their problem, Jimmy.
No, I know, but it's just
I know.
Oh, okay, well, Shaw and Partners, Emma Rankin's best effort of the year. She's done a terrific job. Yep. This crew is...
6 on the right-hand side. A little
Team Victoria.
Tricky with the dial-up.
Yeah, this is awkward down here. And just on Shaw and Partners for the moment, they're being supported by the Maritimo group up in the Gold Coast. Bill Barry Cotter and his team are lending support to Shaw and Partners. And hence Michael Spee's involvement. So at the moment, they're showing a pretty good form on a tricky old day. That's Shaw and Partners top of screen there, but there's 6th. And just ahead of them,
does that put
Team Victoria?
6th, back in 6th with the boats that are
probably
OCS.
close to it. You like that cup, don't you? Yeah, 6 being 6. We work at that. So they're just tacking. Off camera, Shaw and Partners. I think there's a ferry coming up that they might not have seen till the last minute. They had to throw in a very quick tack. The ferry will pass just to windward of them. So that'll make things a bit tricky for them. This ferry, of course, has right away, as we know, on the harbour. So sky clearing, wind building, and we're off to Shark Island for the final time.
Team Victoria looks like they've just dropped their main sheet there.
Yeah, right.
Yes. They're going to recover, I think. 6, meanwhile, shooting away. Now, Shaw and Partners, that's ferries to windward of them. It's going to affect them shortly.
I'm just looking right up into Rose Bay on the Rag and Famish. They're lifting. They were lifting beautifully there. They're extending.
Yeah, they're up off Nielsen Park in the middle of the harbour. Long way ahead. And again, we say it often, this is a very polished performance by the Rag and Famish team. And this boat's still coming downwind to this leeward mark. We've got Smeg and Yandu off George's Head, setting to go down into Obelisk. Yandu's got a nice old wine glass. We can't see them at the moment. Get a shot of poor old Yandu. He's got all... There he is. He's had that wine glass for about the last minute or so. It's not coming out.
They might lose Berger's number after this.
Yeah, they just dropped the halyard to untangle it. Oh, the Black Knight, I hope they've seen this ferry. They're close to this ferry. This is going to cause a bit of an issue for the Black Knight off camera. There they go. Yeah, another pitfall of the harbour. Keep your eyes out of the boat early on.
What speed do those ferries do, Cubby, compared to the 18s?
So the Manly ferry going backwards and forwards to the Keys, probably sitting on about 13 and a half knots.
So just a perfect covering speed for the 18s.
Yeah. And they're 1,100 tonnes of steel, so... There's been the odd bingle between the skiffs and the Manly ferry over time, so let's hope that doesn't...
Not of late, though, Cubby.
No, that's good.
Captains today are a lot nicer to the skiffs, so...
So probably, as you said, Pete, Marine Outlet are the movers and shakers. They've had a capsize and they look like, to me, they're back in third spot, pretty much.
remember they were over as well.
Ah, that's right. They're
Around that
OCS.
level, yeah, Bigfoot.
Okay.
So disappointing day for both of those boats.
By Kobe on screen there. A couple of weeks ago they sailed up here on this same leg of the course in good breeze. They had excellent speed and height, so I think they're in their element going up this work just as they get that big gust. And as if we get the shot correctly, we've got Rag and Famish to the right of Vycobie. So there's a little bit of separation between the two boats. Laterally. There's Rag and Famish out on the right-hand side of screen. Vycobie just taking a big downer there. But let's see how they go as they get around Steel Point here. Breeze should settle, should get a little bit more lift.
It got very left hand when they got up into Rose Bay last time, didn't it?
Yeah.
When they approached the Shark Island mark.
The yacht in the background was
he's
a bit odd.
capsizing, yeah.
He's struggling.
Well, you don't go upwind with a spinnaker, I suppose that's the message there. But anyway, back to the racetrack. And Vycobie doing a nice job. Up on the fairway back, they were about 1:20 behind at the last mark. They're right in the middle of the harbour, between Nielsen Park and Clifton Gardens.
So, Pete, one of the old things that people used to do a lot more is don't give up in a race. Eh? Like some of these guys tend to just go back to Double Bay after they've had a little capsize or something. You never know what's going to happen. At the moment, it looks like Vycobie is
Closed up a little.
Big left.
Yeah, it's closed up a little.
Still, that delta at the bottom mark was 1:20. It'll be interesting to see what it is when they round the top mark here at Shark Island.
It's fresh again. Plenty of white caps in Rose Bay. And we're just up off Steel Point. For those that know the harbour, just at the southern end of Nielsen, beautiful Nielsen Park. Sun coming out. It's Harry Price leading the fleet.
Okay, now pressure's up in the breeze again, Pete. It's sort of 18 knots here right in Rose Bay. Now, I know the Vycobie boys have been going really quick in this stuff.
The rig setup looks good. They've got not much return in the mainsail. They're leading it up nicely into windward.
It's all Dooley's coaching.
Would Dolly tell you that?
No, I think you did. Weren't you coaching the Yendu?
Yeah, not today.
Not today.
Last week I was. Oh, they don't know me.
Because there's first and second.
Yeah, they're both on port. Going off into Harry Price, just covering off loosely on Vycobie, but they're not going away. It's very fresh here. Really fresh.
Just starting to see the mainsail on Vycobie turn inside out. Yeah,
better return there now.
That's our telltale sign. The pressure's picked right up.
So, nowhere near a lay line on the Rag. They've got a few more tacks to do yet. It's this next run's going to be exciting. Back to Athol, and then they've got down to Athol, then to the finish in Double Bay. So we've got about another 4 or 5 minutes sailing on this leg for the Rag. He'll probably go up towards Shark, tack out to starboard, then pick up the port lay line like he did last time. The breeze went left on them and they overlaid a lot, but not Vycobie. They judged that perfectly.
Breeze is lightening a little bit here for Vycobie, Pete, so let's see what
they're
happens.
Moving nicely, Vycobie. They're not going away by any means.
Here's their tack coming up.
There they go, but Rag looks smart too. They look very polished. Vycobie have tacked in a little bit of a down pressure. Boy, they've opened away from the third place getter, these two boats.
Just building pressure for Vycobie now. They've got 3 strings. But gee, they've taken at least half a minute out of Rag and Famish, I would educate a guess.
There's TP52 frantic, just going off screen, but there's Vycobie going in towards a lovely Rose Bay, and the
sky's clearing up here too, Pete. A bit of blue sky. spectator ferry in the background.
Yeah.
They'll be busy during the JJs. I was
Getting a good view. He does well to give them, all the punters, a good view. Or patrons, I shouldn't say punters. Not allowed to say that, are we?
They might be having a punt.
Kobe at speed, trying to chase down the race leader, Rag and Famish. Minute 20 was the delta at the last mark.
So we got. We'll be going round the mark up here. We've got one run down towards the zoo, and then a short work up to the finish.
Okay, we've got a little technical issue. We do apologise, but we'll keep talking so you know what's happening. We've got Rag and Famish leading from Kobe. There they go. There's the Rag. Those boys are not part of the 18-footer course, but they're going out now on starboard to try and pick up this port ley line. And he's pretty good at this, Harry, from a good distance out. And there's Kobe just coming in the screen now. And it's good breeze. It's 16, 17 knots here.
Won't be long before we see Rag and Famish tack. Let's keep a close eye on both those boats.
Well, he's still a little way to go.
Kobe looks like they're setting up for attack.
Well, they both bow down a little, so they're on a little bit of a header. Rag's still going.
Oh no, they're all. Yep, both of them are still going.
Yeah, not far off it. There they go. They're in tandem. Well, there they go. Look at that. Mirror image, basically, of the tack and the lay now. Will they lay? Kobe, a nice little left-hander.
I'm pretty confident they'll both lay from there, Pete.
Well, you'd think if Rag will, you'd think Kobe will. So they've got this reach down to Athol, then the run to the finish, the beat to the finish. In the breeze here at Rose Bay, 14, 15 knots.
Already a bit of sheet ease on the Rag and Famish, so they're happy.
Yeah, they look as though they're good lay.
And for the supporters of the 18-footers bar and restaurant, she looks like she's retiring for the day.
Okay, and looking at Circular Quay, there's a monstrous ship, a floating RSL club coming out here, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I think most of the sailors were aware of that movement.
Okay, we've got the clock running now. The Rag's around. Kobe, easy lay. They've well eased their sheets on the Kobe. Okay, the Rag, first obstacle is the wharf at Shark Island. They're down the side of that nicely.
Kobe's coming in now, Pete. So
they're well eased.
We'll get that time.
Well eased. Yep. And they're a little way from the mark, but they certainly have closed up. Yep, they've an easy lay, as they say. There they are. Stop at that, 33 seconds.
It's a long way back to the third place boat, so we might, I guess, stay with these two to the finish.
I think that'll be exciting, Jimmy, because they've got plenty of excitement down this reach. Okay, Kobe's round the wall, so 33 seconds. They closed up quite significantly on that
50 odd seconds.
Yeah, very good effort by Kirk and the boys, and we're on the Rag.
The excitement's going to be with this departing cruise ship, Pete. The two skiffs have got to get round the mark in front of the zoo and then back up into Double Bay. Yes. They may do that just before that cruise ship, or the cruise ship might actually be in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it won't affect them on this reach, that's for sure. It's the beat whether it will come into affect them, but the Kobe going high early, the Rag just putting the foot down, just straight lining really to Bradley's. Kobe trying to go up. It's quite almost a little bit of a lee coming out of Point Piper, so they're up and down.
There's low pressure along here. I think we'll see
Kirk well back in the boat. The crew just hunting for pressure. The Rag is just going more straight line.
Just while they've got three strings, Pete, they're going pretty quick. The spinnaker's not a huge advantage.
I think the Rag won't be far off it. You wouldn't think they're around Bradley's.
The key factor is getting around Bradley's unscathed, so they'll be factoring that in.
Now the Rag hunting up high, but Kobe now going straight. They've got some good breeze now Kobe. Boy, they wouldn't want a spinnaker up in that.
Plus they've got that cruise ship they've got to get above as well. Cruise vessel.
Yeah, there's a vessel hanging off Bradley's that are moving slowly. I think Vycobia will be across them. There it is in the background. So the rag have set. And
Vycobia are going to have to set soon.
Yeah, they're quite much higher than the rag.
Third place is around Shark Island B Marine Outlet, and fourth place is Bigfoot. They're around as well. So, but
there's two boats are out of the race because of the OCS. So
there's big pressure coming from the left here, Pete. Might influence what Vycobia does if they're spinning up.
So rag are way bow down. They're heading for Taronga Park too. They're going to feed to the Lions here in a minute. They have to drop. Vycobia's still up.
Vycobia's going to get this pressure and they're going to get away. All right, in about 5 for Vycobia, they're going to get a little bit of a breeze, which
looking quite calm. They're looking around,
and it's going to jump about 10 knots. This breeze.
He's on course for the mark here. The rag have dropped meanwhile. A nice drop, and they're just two sail reaching up from below the mark. Vycobia, will they set? At the moment, they're not looking like it. Oh, yes, they are. They're going in now, I think.
Needs to be quick.
It's quick, because it's only a short little run. Good set. There it goes. Sheet on. There we go. Oh, come on, boys. Work hard, work hard, work hard. Yep.
All right, they're only going to have this on for about 50 metres, this Spinnaker.
Anyway, they did pretty well there by Vycobia. They read that pretty well. But the rag's away and on to the finish. Away she goes to the finish, up in Double Bay. I think these two boats will get across this cruise ship. It may affect the rest of the fleet, but they're far enough advanced, I think.
They've got to get across before the pilot vessel as well.
Yeah, so. That's correct, of course, yes. Okay, Vycobia dropping. Oh, I didn't get a time. Anyway, 33 seconds at the last mark. I think probably rag have extended a little bit here. Might have been dropped a little early, Vycobia. They're just going to waddle in here. Safe, but didn't put any pressure back on the rag, really. Anyway, they'll have a good view of that ship and be aware that that big ship is coming out as they round the leeward mark here in Athol.
Pete, that big ship from the Opera House at Bradley's Head's probably going to take 15 minutes.
Yes.
So I'd say
they'll be across easy.
I'd say we're good.
These two, but the remainder of the fleet may have an issue. But so rag leads on her way to the finish to put the icing on the cake for the club championship. And probably close to winning the point score. So she's carrying all before her this season. Harry Price and his team of Max Paul and Finn Rodowitz.
A bit more silverware for the
Price family.
Yes.
Need a bigger trophy cabinet.
David melts it down, doesn't he, and sells it. Pricey. Is that what he does?
Trying to get some of the expense back there. Yeah. Actually, I think he's trying to get the expense back for Olivia's wedding on Friday.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Olivia and Tom.
Tom, lovely wedding on Friday night. But there's Marine Outlet, the Gundy boys and Josh Porepsky, followed by the Bigfoot from Queensland. And then a next boat on the water, and really in third place, because these two were over the line at the start, will be our friends from Germany, the Black Knight.
So Vycobia's gone for the big split here, Pete. They've gone right out to the right-hand side. Let Harry go.
He's probably going to get across the ship and hope the ship comes down and takes Harry to the cleaners, but I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so. Not now.
See the puffs coming down. Still plenty of wind. As the Bigfoot dropping their chute. After the Black Knight, we've got who we got there. Jimmy, is that
sixth?
Shore and Partners.
But Team Vic is just about to come flying past the Shore and Partners.
Okay. There's the Black Knight still going downwind with no spinnaker. And then Oh, that's sixth, is it?
So Vaikobi in the background is tacked. He's got a big right hand lift.
Well, it's a massive split. It's unlike Harry. I suppose Harry's so confident of his speed that he did a big split. He wasn't worried about Vaikobi, but that's sixth running down still to the Athol bite mark. A few more of the stragglers coming down.
Harry just tacking to go almost on a lay to the finish.
That's the top, just to the right of the screen, just going off screen as Team Victoria coming down, but Shaw and Partners on screen there. Emma Rankin there at Bradley's Head. And what do we got playing out? There's Team Victoria. Taronga Park Wharf in the background.
Wonder if Shaw and Partners will set here, Pete. They really need to.
They're high, aren't they?
There they go. Shaw and Partners have set now.
Okay, well, we're on Vaikobi here, up in the heart in the right, but the rag off camera well ahead again. They've crossed. There's the cross now. Not well ahead. It's a nice little margin, but Vaikobi in a massive right-hander.
They've picked up a big one there.
They have. Look at that. Gee, you'd like that.
Not enough, I don't think, but...
No, I don't think so, but...
Keeping us
look,
on
he's
it.
still going up, up, up.
Looks like he's sailing on a sou'wester over there.
Yeah, he's got the jockey pole in a minute. Come on.
We'll see how long Rag and Famish hold their current line.
Vaikobi just coming down now.
Down pressure as well, yeah.
That's the split there. So we'll get a time differential on you, on these boys.
Vaikobi got 1.5 in the boat, so that's not good. They're holding their own there in second spot.
That is a big ship coming down the harbour, that's for sure. So it'll affect some of the boats behind, but not these two leaders. There's the Rag coming up on port. She'll probably come up. It's a lay line for the finish here, I think.
Probably one more tack for the Rag.
So it ends a very fine season point score and club championship season for the Rag and Famish.
It'll be unofficial, of course, but that should give Rag and Famish the point score.
You would think so, because nearest to them was Balmain, and they've had that problem with the jib,
which we don't know whether they recovered.
Still go? Did we didn't see them come back, I don't think, did we?
No, they certainly capsized.
Well, they capsized down there, whether they were trying to fix it or what.
Trying to jury rig something up.
Okay, let's have a look at this time differential.
Okay, they're going to lay the line, the Rag and Famish.
Yeah, great job again by Harry, Max and Finn. Stamping their authority on this season so far. Here they come, couple of boat lengths to go. 3, 2, 1, gun. There they are.
Right.
Again, a very, very fine win. You can't overstate it, their performance. Behind a little at the weather mark the first time, and they played it very safe down the beat, down the run, and then they got themselves right into the picture at the leeward mark. And Vaikobi now standing in sort of shifty, puffy breeze coming in on port. Remembering down at the leeward mark at Obelisk that, at Shark Island, it was 33 seconds, but it'll be a lot longer than that on this beat. I think they had to go for that split cub there to try and
you want to make sure you cross that ship.
Yeah. And also, they probably weren't going to go beat Harry by going the same way.
Actually get a...
Okay, we're right here with them in the cockpit. Kirk Mitchell and his crew, Andrew Stevenson, Daniel Barnett. Good job, boys. It's 3 weeks in a row they've been second. Throwing sheet at it now, a bit of an overlay.
Yeah.
There they go at pace. A few supporters on the ferry. They like what they're seeing on the Vaikobi.
There she goes.
3, 2, 1 now. Minute 12 unofficially, the time delta. So, Vaikobi second, the Rag first, and then there is no third at the moment. They're a long way back. So Rag first.
That ship's giving the peloton a little bit of a hurry up down there.
The joys of Sydney Harbour, as we say.
Yep.
Never lets you down. It's a big ship. We had the Queen Anne in over Friday night, I think, didn't we? The new,
she left yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a
pretty impressive looking ship.
It's her first world tour, apparently. First time it's been to Sydney. Not their biggest ship, though.
No.
So the next two vessels across the line, there's going to be the Marine Outlet and Bigfoot Bags and Covers from Queensland. Now, as we explained earlier, these guys were started early, so they're considered OCS, on course side. So they're just going through the motions, really. So third place is still some distance away.
The Black Knight, I've just watched it, they've just tacked around in front of the pilot vessel. They've gone almost past Bradley's head to get around the pilot vessel.
Great.
So...
So, Jimmy, have we got any idea when the Kiwis are arriving? They're not going to arrive just for next week, are they? Are they coming early? Do you know? Have you heard?
I'd suggest before Friday, but
Yes.
they definitely, I think one of their boats was in the park, so I'm not sure whether they're here or getting here, probably cramming in one last day's training over there in NZ, and I think they'll be on a plane come Monday, get a few hours at least out on the harbour before it all starts.
Come Monday, that great Jimmy Buffett. No, who sang that? Come Monday.
Come Monday,
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, good stuff. Bit of my vintage there, Cub, you know that, eh?
Margaritaville.
That's right.
5 o'clock somewhere is my favourite.
That's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Okay, so Marine Outlets across, third on the water, Bigfoot fourth. Thank you, Ian Barnard. We take aboard your comments, and we will certainly be doing that for you. Ian was like to have some photos of the cruise and show them what they look like, so they're not all that pretty, but we'll do that for you. So, back to the racetrack, and this is the Black Knight. So they will be third on the score sheet.
And they've been out most of the week
Yeah, I saw
training.
them out during the week.
I wonder if they've got any new gear this year. They're in a sort of a different program overseas, aren't they?
Not today, Cub. It wasn't an easy day. It's not an easy course, this southerly course.
No.
It's tricky getting up to this weather market Double Bay the first time, and it's very tricky down to Obelisk every time, isn't it? So
Very tricky.
You see boats, good boats, come to grief often.
Yeah, that's the crew work is everything run, that one.
Yep. So Black Knight crossing third for Honoric von Bayen, Thomas and Andy Martin, and then a big gap then.
Sixth, probably.
Sixth is fourth, but he would have been sixth on the water if you'd count Marine Outlet and Bigfoot. So we'll put him down as. Is he going to be fourth?
Fourth, yeah. With Marine Outlet and Bigfoot out.
There's Smeg still running downhill. There's Bradley's Head just in the background, so they've got a bit of work still to do. So
Team Victoria out there to our left.
So that's Team Victoria on now.
Crossing Shore and Partners.
Shore and Partners, and sixth is probably just a little ahead of them. They're sixth.
That's going to be a little duel just near the finish line.
Jacob Marks on
I
the
can
sixth.
see Balmain in the distance, Pete. Just straight out the window of the camera boat here.
What goes? Where are they? Are they?
Over off Kirribilli.
Oh,
Point.
down there. Okay. Okay, well, it's going to be a good battle here for fourth between sixth, Team Victoria and Shore and Partners. And without overstating it, I think this is Emma Rankin's best performance of the season. She's done very well. So we're on Team Victoria. Here are the three lined up now. This is the battle for fourth. Looks like Team Victoria might be across six. They got the little right-hander. Yeah, they are.
I'd like to see the Shore and Partners just with them coming head on to us there.
Team Victoria.
Bad tack
A bit
there.
more vang on the
tacked on.
Partners.
There's got to be something wrong with the Shore and Partners there with that sail
Strange
set on.
manoeuvre there for Team Victoria. They're on starboard and they tacked to leeward of sixth. Anyway, now hands the advantage to sixth. Where's Shore and Partners?
Oh, yeah, there's definitely something wrong with it, isn't there?
Is their vang gone? Or
I think their vang is gone.
Okay, well, here's the battle for fourth. Oh, Team Victoria, so sixth can probably carve them out here.
I think they've both got one more tack in them.
Yeah,
Pete,
they have.
Unless six makes it.
Six can't tack from there. Oh, can he? Oh, maybe he can. See what happens.
Oh, six is just
Oh,
come into windward.
he got to tack six, surely. I think
Team
Team Victoria might do this.
Just
No.
tack, not quite good
Not-
enough.
No.
Still close.
Oh,
I wouldn't like to pick that.
dead heat.
I'm giving that a dead heat. That was close.
Very close.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sixth looked to have it done and dusted. Then Team Victoria got back into it. So we don't know there. Victoria or sixth, and then Shore
And
and
the
Partners.
fast finishing Shore and Partners.
And
Yeah.
no vang whatsoever connected on the Shore and Partners there.
So that's a big effort. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's
Hard work.
Big arms for that.
So Shore and Yandu will be seventh
So they've
after they had a really bad capsize down at the leeward mark. What was the first time, I think? Was it down at Obelisk?
slowed up, jibed,
That's right.
slow jibe,
Yeah.
capsized. No time. Yeah.
There's
But recovered.
Yandu coming in. So they'll be seventh.
Coming up on the screen shortly, we're going to get a little shot of the bow main. So when they capsized at the bottom mark the last time, they've obviously jury-rigged that headsail.
Yeah, they've got it back up the luff and looks reasonable.
Yeah, soldiered on, Pete.
Yep. Well, that's a good effort. Whether they've got enough up their sleeve for handicap, it would be doubtful, I would think. But anyway, we'll bring you the final handicap results next Friday when we're back for the opening day of the JJs and the invitation race. But Balmain, they were right in the reckoning. Henry Larkins, Tom Grimes and Flynn Toomey. So, here's a question without notice. Cup, when would have been the most appropriate time to capsize and fix the jib luff, do you think? They capsized at the leeward mark. You'd say purposely to fix it.
Well, downwind's always a quicker capsize.
Yeah.
I give them points for just fixing it and carrying on, Pete.
Yeah.
Like, they had the point score at stake. They got their sponsor, who's been an excellent sponsor for the last few years, and they're really looking after the Balmain sponsor, and they're in it. No disgrace there. A lot of boats would have just gone home and called it a day.
We even thought they were going home, but they soldiered on, which is great.
Yep.
So they're coming across now. They will be 8th with Yandu 7th.
Still a good place. If you're running in the point score, which is an accumulation of your season's races, nothing wrong with an 8th.
No. So who we got following, Jimmy? We got anyone still coming we can see? Or
The only one I can still see up and about is today's sponsor, Smeg.
Yeah, I
and
saw
they're
them going
just,
downwind.
Just sort of off Bradley's, sort of under the zoo there. I did see the Hoffel House. They were heading straight home before.
We didn't see Finport again, did we?
We haven't seen Finport.
18-footer restaurant, they went away. Balmain have finished, Bigfoot have finished, Black Knight, Red Rockstar.
Didn't see much of them at all.
Did they? I don't know whether they were out, were they?
They certainly
They
rigged up.
were out.
Yeah.
I've seen them out here, but
The Burrawang, they went home. Finport
Yep.
went home.
and the other only boat, well, the Red Rock Star's still going there off Steel Point, and the other boat that's still going just rounded Shark Island is the Goat from Great Britain.
GBR.
Kitchen Maker, where did they end up? Haven't got them anywhere. Lazarus went home early. Marine Outlet, they finished, but they were OCS. Noakes, saw them at the start, didn't see them at the finish. The Rag, of course.
Not
The
seeing
winners.
Kitchen Maker on the harbour at all at the moment.
So there's Smeg coming in. They will be ninth, I think. Nathan McNamara.
Actually, I gave a bit of wrong information about Hoffel House. They're still up and going, and they're just down there off Apple
Is
Bay.
that Noakes too, with the red on the sail back here? Is that Noakes?
No, that
Who's
is
that?
the Hoffel House.
Oh, that's Hoffel House. Okay.
Yep.
We've got to be on our game here. Anyway, watching the Smeg come in.
There's a little bit of homework there for you, Pete.
Well, yes. I mean, they change insignias. They try and trap me. That's what we got you here for, Cub.
No.
So, well, as we wind down today, and it's been another exciting race, really a race in two towards the end between Rag and Famish and Vycobi. Full marks to both those teams. Excellent effort. And especially by Harry Price and the Rag team. Again, very dominant in a tricky day. So we begin next Friday with the JJ Gilton Championships for 2025. The first heat on Saturday, but we're back on Friday for the invitation race, which is the start of the series. A normal starting time here in Sydney. We go to air at 2:20, and then the race will start at 2:45. That's Sydney time. We're on Eastern Daylight Saving Time for the moment. So we're looking forward to bringing that to you. And we've got Saturday, Sunday, a day off on the Monday, and then racing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, lay day on the Friday, and then we finish Saturday, Sunday. That's 2 weeks from today will be the final race, and that is the final race of the season for the 18-foot skiffs for 2025. So, Cub, thank you for your contribution today. Just give us a quick summary of today and your thoughts looking forward to next week.
Well, Pete, I think what we saw today is what we've been seeing a lot through the season. The Rag and Famish getting to the lead, sticking there, not making any mistakes, and if they're a little bit behind, they've been staying calm. And look, there's some other boats out there that can beat them. We saw the Yandu, and he had that unfortunate capsize. We saw the Balmain up there, and then they had that incident with their headsail falling down. And so, look, if Rag and Famish make some mistakes, there's people there that can beat them. So at this stage, they'll be the hot favourite. But, you know, it's a week of sailing. They're going to get different sailing conditions over that week. Look, I haven't even had a long look at the weather, but they will get varied conditions over a week here in Sydney. Typically, we get our southerlies going back into nor'easters still at this time of the year. Look, summer's over officially, but we can still get some cracking nor'easters. So, look, I'm looking forward to the racing. There's a lot of boats, and we've just got Noakes, Beck Hancock making her way up to the finish line.
Yeah,
here.
good on her.
Yeah, she's done well.
Sorry, Cub, just to interrupt you. I've just received a photo of a very badly cut hand, which may belong to John Harris, who was steering Finport today. Very bad cut down his forefinger and thumb, so it came from a very reliable source. So I'm sure it is one of the crew on Finport, so may necessitate some stitches, I think. But anyway, we wish the owner of that hand all the best. I think it may be John Harris. So anyway, it is John, or what crew it is, all the very best. So thank you, Cub. So just reiterating, we're back on Friday for the invitation race. Then Saturday we've got one race. Sunday another race. Then on the Tuesday of the week after next we've got 2 races. On the Wednesday we've got 2 races. The Thursday 1 race. Then the Saturday and the Sunday 2 weeks' time, 1 race each day. So 9 races will constitute the 2025 JJ Giltinan. So I think on behalf, as we're watching Beck coming up to the finish, behalf of all the Sale Media team, we do thank everyone that's been watching. We've really enjoyed bringing this to you, and as we do each week, and of course leading into the JJs, it's something we're all looking forward to. Great job everyone behind the scenes here, and to Jimmy, our captain, great work at the helm. And Cub, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you here, and a great name in 18-footers, and great to have you on board. So until next Friday, from a rather grey sort of Sydney Harbour, plenty of wind, we hope you can join us. This is Peter Shipway saying a very good afternoon, and look forward to your company on Friday.